This happened when I just turned 19 and moved into my first real place, a small studio apartment on the edge of town. It wasn't much. The walls were thin, the carpet smelled faintly of bleach, and the bathroom sink whined whenever you turned the faucet. But it was mine. For the first time in my life, I had my own space. On move-in day, my landlord handed me the keys, then gave me a strange warning. Oh, and don't be too friendly with Charlie. He's a bit, eccentric. Big, what do you call it? A Grand Theft Auto fan. Real big. I laughed it off. Eccentric neighbors were part of apartment living, right? Besides, I like Grand Theft Auto too. Maybe we'd get along. That first night, I couldn't sleep. New places always made me restless. I sat on my mattress scrolling through my phone when I heard something outside. It was the sound of water splashing. I saw the time. It was 1:30 in the morning. I got up, pulled the blinds, and looked out. There was a man right next to our building. He was in his backyard, wearing nothing but underwear and socks. In one hand, he held a garden hose, and with the other, he was caressing his shiny, bald head. All this while watering his plants in slow, deliberate sweeps. It was bizarre enough on its own, but then it hit me. I'd seen this exact scene before, but where? It took me a moment to remember that in the GTA 6 trailer, there's an exact scene. That must be Charlie. I watched in silence, trying not to laugh out loud. He was watering the plants and every few seconds half squatting in his underwear. Maybe they were too tight for him. Honestly, if you wake up in the middle of the night hearing a sound outside your window, it ends up being some freak or psycho stalking you. But in my case, I stumbled on pure comedy. No doubt the landlord warned me about him. What a loser, I said in my head. Charlie's Wi-Fi has more connections than he does. I might have laughed a little loud because suddenly he looked up at my window. For a few seconds, neither of us moved. Then a slow, unsettling grin stretched across his face. The hose slipped from his hand, water spilling across his feet. He didn't look that funny, honestly. His skin was too pale, and his eyes were very, very frightening, like he had some condition that was beyond cure. There were no eyebrows or even a beard patch on his face, which made him look even more alien. Our stare down lasted for a minute. Then he bolted straight toward my building. I staggered back from the blinds, my heart slamming against my ribs. A moment later, pounding erupted against my door.
Let me in!
Charlie's voice was muffled but frantic.
We should be friends! We love the same game!
I froze. The pounding grew louder and faster, each slam shaking the thin wood of my door. His voice, once eager, grew sharp and manic.
Open it! Open the door! We love the same game!
Panic gripped me.
What? I don't even know you! Just leave before I call the cops! Come on, don't be shy. You're just like me. That's why you're watching me, right? I know we're the same. Just open the door.
I grabbed my phone and dialed 911. Charlie was not only banging, he was literally kicking down the door. My voice cracked as I told the dispatcher someone was trying to break into my apartment. I forced my voice steady and shouted through the door. The cops are coming! Leave! The pounding stopped. For a moment, there was silence. Then I heard him laugh. It was as if he found something funny that I didn't understand. I could still see his shadow beneath my door. He was just standing there, not moving. Minutes passed. He didn't knock again, didn't say a word, just stood there. And then, quietly, he walked away. When the cops arrived, he was gone. One officer pointed at my door with a serious face. What I saw gave me goosebumps. There were stains of blood on my door. Not just that, an uprooted human nail was stuck on the hardwood. Charlie tried so hard to get in that he didn't care he was hurting himself. The cops checked the property, took my statement, and told me to lock my windows and doors. I nodded, pretending I'd feel safer knowing that, but I didn't. There was no proof that it was Charlie since our building had no security camera. The cops couldn't press any charges on him. They even went to his house to talk to him, but no one answered. By the morning, I began to think that perhaps I had overreacted. Maybe he was just lonely. But then I opened my door and found a pair of dirty men's underwear, crumpled, stained and left on my doormat like it was some kind of gift. My stomach turned. I backed inside, slammed the door shut, and locked it again. I don't know if he left it as a joke or a warning or some twisted gesture of friendship. I didn't want to know. That was the final straw. I packed up that same day and called my landlord, told him I was breaking the lease. He didn't argue. I knew he knew exactly why. It's been months since I left that apartment, but I can't shake the image of Charlie's grin, his bare feet slapping against the pavement as he ran toward me, his fists hammering on my door like he could break through at any second. Sometimes, late at night, I wonder what would have happened if I hadn't called the cops, if I'd opened the door instead. Would he have stood there grinning, tried to talk, or would he have stepped inside, locked the door behind him, and made sure I could never leave? I don't want to know. I'll never forget the summer the GTA 6 trailer dropped. Everyone was talking about it, rewatching it 100 times and speculating about every little detail. But for my friend Tyler, it became something else entirely. See, most of us just laughed at the chaos, the neon lights, and the wild stunts. Tyler, he locked on to Jason, the male protagonist in the trailer. And I don't mean he liked the character. I mean, he became him. At first, it was harmless. He started dressing like Jason, practicing the same cold expressions in the mirror when he thought no one was watching. He hit the beach gym every night, lifting under the orange glow of the pier lights, pretending he was training for something. We teased him about it. He'd laugh along at first, shrugging it off, but it was clear he wasn't enjoying the joke. With each week, Tyler drowned in his dark, imaginative world. By July, he stopped talking about anything else. Jason wouldn't waste time, he'd mutter, or Jason always finishes what he starts. It was weird, but we told ourselves it was just an obsession. Everyone has a phase, right? I wish that was all it was. It happened on a humid night by the pier. The sand was damp from the tide, the air sticky and heavy. A few of us were hanging around, spotting each other on the outdoor benches and bars, drinking and talking trash. Tyler was there too, dead silent, repping weight plates like he was possessed. His arms looked almost alien in the dim light, veins snaking up, muscles twitching with every lift. His eyes would go wide like he was seeing something in the oblivion. I thought to tease him a little. Careful, man, you're starting to look more like Jason than Tyler. He beamed, like it was some compliment. I teased him a bit more, thinking it's harmless. But Jason still gets the girls, unlike you. Everyone joined me for a laugh, but Tyler just set the weight plate down and stared at me. I should have stopped right there, but I didn't. I grinned, reached out, and patted him on the shoulder, saying, "Face it, bro, you're just a wannabe in a game that'll never drop." Our laughter grew louder. Tyler got up and faced me. I braced myself for a shove, maybe a swing, but instead, he hugged me. At first, I thought it was some weird joke. His chin pressed against my shoulder and I felt his breath against my ear. But he didn't let go. His arms tightened around me. His grip got uncomfortably strong. Then he began whispering in my ears. I couldn't make out the words, just a fast, steady stream of sound, like some ancient mantra. Dude? I laughed nervously. You good? Suddenly, his hands slid upward. His thumbs pressed into my throat. I froze, disbelief rooting me in place. The pressure built in my windpipe and I gagged. I tried to push him back, but his grip was like steel. My breath hitched, my vision blurred. My knees buckled in the wet sand. I could hear myself choking, rasping. Tyler! What are you doing? His face hovered inches from mine, blank, focused. It was as if he wasn't even seeing me. He was merely following a script in his head. His eyes didn't look human. They looked evil. Help! Guys! I can't! Panic surged. My friends rushed forward, grabbing at him, yelling for him to let go. But Tyler didn't even flinch.
It was like trying to peel a machine off of me. My chest burned, every vein in my head screaming. I thought, this is it. Tyler's going to kill me. My own friend.
Tyler, stop! Are you crazy?
Let go of him, Tyler!
My friends were screaming while trying their best to separate us. My eyes went black. I could feel myself fading into darkness. My eyes suddenly went to the sand on the ground. Something primal kicked in. My hand shot into the wet sand beside me. I scooped up a fistful and shoved it into Tyler's eyes.
Ah! My eyes!
For the first time, he reacted. He jerked back, gasping, blinking furiously. The hands around my throat loosened, and I collapsed onto the ground, sucking air like I'd been drowning. Two of the guys grabbed Tyler by the arms, dragging him backward as he thrashed and snarled. I'll never forget that sound. Half growl, half scream, like he was furious we'd interrupted something sacred.
I won't tolerate this! Don't test me!
We pulled away from each other, all of us panting, eyes wide. Tyler's chest heaved, his hair plastered to his forehead with sweat. He looked less like a person and more like an animal. And then, just like that, he went still. He ripped free from their grip, straightened his jacket, and walked away. No words, no glance back, just vanished into the darkness under the pier. We haven't seen Tyler since then. I know how that sounds. If I hadn't lived it, I'd think it was an exaggeration, some overblown story meant to freak people out. But the truth is, sometimes people break. And when they do, it doesn't look like madness. It looks like obsession sharpened into something lethal. The cops couldn't find him. His parents said he left everything behind. Phone, wallet, even his bed sheets. Just gone. Like he'd shed Tyler entirely and stepped into Jason's skin. But here's the part that keeps me up at night. On quiet evenings, when the wind shifts just right through the palm trees by my window, I swear I can still hear his voice. That low, steady whisper right by my ear. The same one I couldn't make out that night. And I can't shake this thought. When GTA 6 finally drops, when the world ultimately gets to play Jason, Tyler will come back. Not to play the game. He's coming back to prove that he was never just pretending.
I don't even know why I agreed to it. Maybe it was the alcohol. Maybe it was the sudden surge of adrenaline. Or maybe it was just the blind confidence that comes from thinking nothing bad ever happens to you when you're young. It was past 2 a.m. when we stumbled out of the nightclub, half drunk, half awake, and fully reckless. My friend Mason jingled the keys of his dad's car, grinning like a devil.
Let's do it. GTA 6, baby. We'll recreate it tonight.
The others cheered, but my stomach sank. I knew the scene he was referring to. We'd all seen the trailer 100 times. The car driving at insane speed with a girl leaning out of the sunroof, arms raised, with a neon-lit city sprawling behind her. It looked wild. This is stupid, I muttered, but nobody heard me over the excitement. By the time we reached the highway, the music was blasting so loudly that it made the rearview mirror rattle. Emily had already crawled halfway out of the roof, her glittery dress catching every passing light. Her arms reached up into the night. Mason slammed the gas pedal and the car leapt forward, weaving between lanes.
Woohoo! We're legends!
Emily screamed, her hair whipping around in the wind. I tried pulling her back in. I even told Mason to slow down, but the group just kept laughing, as if it were our last night, insisting that we should make the most of it. A silver sedan swerved into our lane without signaling. Tires screeched, horns blared, and for a second, I saw us rolling, flipping end over end like a crumpled soda can. But somehow, Mason straightened the car.
Jesus Christ, guys, it's getting risky now. Please.
Emily whooped even louder.
Just like the trailer! Enjoy the fun!
At this point, my heart was hammering so hard it hurt. None of them listened to me. We were speeding like hell when a motorcycle appeared from nowhere. Its red taillight glowed like a warning flare. Mason swerved again. The car rocked so violently that Emily almost lost her grip on the roof. I lunged forward, grabbing her arm, yanking her back down just enough for her to steady herself. But she still didn't budge.
Relax, we're fine.
Fine? We weren't fine. We were seconds away from death. But I'm the only one who saw that. We continued on the road, dodging cars like it was a game. I felt like we were going to crash at any point because of how close we were with vehicles coming from the other side. Suddenly, two white beams cut straight through the darkness ahead. At first, they looked distant, but in seconds, they swelled larger and brighter, barreling straight toward us.
Mason! Mason!
I screamed, seeing the truck. Mason's hands jerked on the wheel. He hit the brakes and the car screeched, spinning in motion. The world became a blur of headlights and shadows. Everyone screamed, trying their best to grab the seats, but the impact was huge. My body slammed against the door so hard my ribs rattled. Somehow, by a miracle, we missed the truck, but the car skidded off the road and slammed into a tree. The crunch of metal and shatter of glass echoed into the night. We all ricocheted off the seat, and for a second, all went silent. A numb ringing blurred my vision. I thought we were dead, but a few seconds later, when I opened my eyes, I heard groans, coughs, and the hiss of an engine. Mason was clutching the wheel, blood streaking down his forehead. I was dazed, chest heaving, every nerve screaming. But Emily was still out of her mind. She climbed the roof.
What the hell are you doing?
She didn't answer. She jumped down onto the road, her heels chattering against the pavement. Her arms shot up again, triumphant, as though we hadn't just cheated death.
Fans of GTA 6 are invincible!
She cried, spinning in the middle of the highway under the neon glow of the distant city lights. Her laugh echoed, high-pitched and manic, like she was trying to prove something to the universe.
Emily, get back here!
I fumbled with my seatbelt, finally breaking free and stumbling out of the wreck.
Emily, please, get off the road!
But she didn't hear us, or maybe she didn't want to. She twirled and twirled, her dress glittering like some kind of beacon. Cars swerved in the distance, horns blaring in protest, but she only laughed louder.
I'm gonna live till the end, baby! GTA 6 fans are immortal!
She was going full bonkers.
I'm gonna live, and we're all...
I saw it before she did, bright headlights rushing her way.
Emily!
I screamed, my voice tearing from my throat. She turned, finally, just as the truck's headlights washed over her. For a fraction of a second, I saw her smile falter, saw her arms lower, and saw the truth sink in. And then, she was run over. The sound was indescribable. It was a bone-crushing metallic roar that ripped the night apart. One moment she was there, alive, spinning, laughing. The next, she was gone. The truck didn't even stop. It just thundered into the darkness, leaving behind what was left of Emily. I dropped to my knees, the asphalt tearing into my skin. Mason convulsed with sobs. Our two other friends staggered toward me, their faces ghost pale, lips trembling. But all I could see was Emily's lifeless body lying on the road. Her head was split into two, with her arms and legs twisted like a rag doll. We sat there until the paramedics and cops arrived. Strangers gathered, and officers pulled us aside and asked what happened. But there were no words. Nothing could explain the madness of that night. Nothing could bring Emily back. All I could think about was that trailer scene, the one that looked so free, so alive, and how we tried to bring it to life, only to find out the truth. Video games reset when you crash. Real life doesn't.